Peace, prosperity, and abundance. Peace, prosperity, and abundance. Welcome back to Earth Goddess TV, episode number 5, I believe. I'm talking about 1-5. So, episode number 5, we are doing Aquarius in the 5th house on this episode. And as you know, we always pull these intuitive messages before we get everything popping. And also, y'all, pull up your birth chart to see where Aquarius is in your chart so you can follow along with me in these series. And if you happen to know anyone with any of these Aquarius placements that I will go through, feel free to jump down in the comments below and share, your experiences with people with these placements, or, your personal experiences with Aquarius, whatever it is in your chart. And we have a winner. Okay. Well, we have 2. So I'll be nice on this one and I'll go ahead and read 2. So the first one, name all the things that you love. Are you one of them? I give myself all the love and attention I need. Let's read this again. Name all the things that you love. Are you one of them? I give all of the love and attention. I give myself all of the love and the attention that I need. Yes. The number one thing we like to think of when a person asks us, what are the things that are most important to us? What are the things that we love? We're quick to name like family, friends, of things of that nature. But it's very rare that you will have a person, the first thing that will come out their mouth is say, me. I love me. And self-love, to me, above all. You cannot properly love all those other things that you mentioned unless you have the proper respect and love for yourself. Only when you love yourself that you can basically project or create your life in a way that comes from a place of love and not, anything else. So I don't know who needed to hear that message, but, are you on the list of things that you love? And if not, you may need to do some soul searching, sit with yourself and figure out, ways that you can set yourself life up in a way that shows and represents self-love. All right, family, let's go ahead and get into the second one. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? So what is the most limiting belief that's keeping me away from what I want right now? What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life that you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. Today's soul action, it's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eyes. Where did it come from? What new beliefs are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your beliefs is not the root of your result. Own it, heal it, and upgrade it. Absolutely, family. It's so easy to believe, these limiting beliefs that's been programmed and installed in us from birth, childhood, adolescence. And a lot of us are afraid to challenge these thoughts or beliefs or traditions because, we've been taught to be pulled and removed away from ourselves in many ways. But we're here to pose the question today. What is the most limiting belief right now that is keeping you from living your best life, your best purpose? Whatever that limiting belief is, belief that, money doesn't grow on trees, or I have to starve myself to lose weight and be healthy. Just anything that is negative, that is limiting you from actually attacking your fear, or anything that's making you feel stagnant, or anything that's just not allowing you to be in your full self, and that, wouldn't allow you to basically move in a way that's not in a self-defeating way. We have to work on these self-limiting beliefs, because only when we work on these self-limiting beliefs, we can live our best life. So I don't mean to ramble too much about that, but I'm not sure who needs to hear that. But whatever self-limiting belief that you are dealing with right now in any area of your life, I challenge you to challenge that belief and go against the grain and tackle it until you're able to stare it in the eye and transcend through it. All right, family, let's get into Aquarius in the 5th house. And basically, what the fifth house represents, family. Basically, fifth house represents creativity, romance, play, kids. So when we talk about Aquarius being here in the fifth house, to me, Aquarius in the fifth house is basically, it's rebellion. Rebellion on all things, whether it be romance, creativity, play. Aquarius is about this life all day, every day. Now, let's be a little bit more specific. So, we have Aquarius here, especially when it comes to like creativity and how they express that creativity. Aquarius will go against the grain. Aquarius will break all of the rules because you have to understand Aquarius is independent, it's free thinking, it's a new and different way of seeing and doing things. So when it comes to creativity, the Aquarius is going to have a field day here, especially within the fifth house of creativity. There's really no restrictions here for the Aquarius because they can uh, relay and express that creativity unapologetically. Now, how that creativity may come out, you know, dealing with the Aquarius is going to come out in a very maybe unusual, unique, interesting, maybe shocking way. This is all Aquarius, You give them the opportunity to express themselves. It's going to come out in a way that's probably different than from how most people would express themselves in the creative nature. So when it comes to romance, Aquarius with Aquarius in the fifth house, the romance should be fun, should be spontaneous, should be adventurous, should be daring, exciting. I would say close to like a daredevil type love type thing, but not as much so much on the dangerous side, but more so the adventurous and the spontaneity of it. I can definitely see Aquarius in the fifth house individuals, would want a relationship that kind of mirrors this in some form of fashion. I feel like if they're not able to get this particular need met in their relationship, this is where, problems and issues may rely. Then this can also lead me into the romance of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius can get themselves into trouble, also here too, because when it comes to like fun, there's nothing wrong with it being expressed in an unapologetic manner to the fullest, but it can be, how can I put it? It can be undirected energy here that can possibly lead them into, affairs with many different types of people, and it also depends on, what is aspected in the chart, because just because you have the Aquarius in the fifth house here, it doesn't mean that you exude all of the negative or bad possible traits that could come with Aquarius being placed here within the fifth house. So last but not least, I want to jump into kids. So say kids with the Aquarian placement in the fifth house here can be a little busybody, a little rebellious, because again, this is the type of child who is definitely eccentric. They want to express themselves. They're very expressive. They're very individualistic in their thinking. So they will be considered a rebellious child, simply because they're not easy to control and they're not the kid that's as willing to follow the rules. This is the kid that may have a little resistance, or they may question, the current rules or authority, whatever is at that time. So if the child here is, with the Aquarius in the fifth house placement, if the child has the placement here, or if you don't have the placement here, say you may have a child who may has a Aquarius in fifth house placement, some of these things should apply as well if you are not the child with the fifth house placement. So I also noticed here too with the child, Aquarian child in the fifth house, they're very artistic. That's one thing people will sleep on about the child with the fifth house placement in the Aquarius. They're very artistic, and how they pull off the artistic and creative energy is very unique. It's all Aquarian, all day, every day. It's innovative, it's shocking, it's eccentric, it's out there, it's individualistic. So That completes my Aquarius in the fifth house series. Make sure you stick through to the rest of the Aquarius to the rest of the houses. And if you have any interest in any handcrafted candles, make sure you hit up my Instagram on earthgoddess_candles. And I have all that information linked down below. And if you have any interest in any career, life purpose readings, or love readings, that link for that will be down below as well. And you all can also email me if you have any additional questions.